Who we got? We got ourselves, trying to figure out who's first. Chicago versus Fern, the Beastmaster Hunter this time instead of Marksmanship. I like that mug. I like that helm in the shoulders, like the whole red eye like he's got going on without completely being part of the same, but it's also skull base, big thunder, stun, one, you have a double stun, second stun loaded up, and it's gonna be big Tempest out of the Shaman, and Fern backing up out of there. He's got to get himself all the pets, all the damage, all that burst. He's got all these ghost wolves after him. Look at those wolves. Would you just sailor blast the guy? You're trying to see if he can get some damage on you. As a BM hunter, doing as much as possible. Chicago got a wall for this. It's going to be full turtle out of Fern. Does end up popping out of the turtle. Seeing Chicago backing up behind the pillar. He just wants to keep the pressure. All the pets got rooted, so you don't really have a lot of your damage. You just got to cut him out as long enough, and you got to make sure to get the pets back behind the pillar. But the pets, they're doing a bit of damage. But I feel like Beastmaster pets might be one of the, I would always say the worst pets, but definitely not the greatest pets for PvP, because like Warlock pets, you send them out and they do damage behind the pillar. You don't need to micromanage them, right? When you play, what's another pet class? Death Knights, when you get the Riders of the Apocalypse, right? You don't really need to micromanage your pets. I guess Unholy too, right? They just do damage. For BM, the pets are only as good as your ability to press skill command and have line of sight of the target, which is very, very different. Big LA Blast. Oh! Chicago switching out to a more elementalist build. So you're harnessing all of the elements together. LA Blast around the corner. Nothing you can do about it. It's literally a melee class that's just hitting you from 40 yards away. Conan coming in with a quick salute just to make sure Chicago knows that, hey, I'm trying to give you a proper honor duel here, bud. But Chicago's got everything. You got a trinket, you got the racial wall coming up very, very soon. He's got yourself some Brock's coming up, Primordial, Lust available, Ghostful should be coming back up very, very soon. Conan immediately opens up with a Reflect Stun Totem. Is that going to be the second one? Blade Storming for that one. It is a big Tempest, and Chicago wants to really respect the Blade Storm as best as possible. There goes a big shield with the Stone Bulwark Totem. Conan could potentially be in trouble. Does go for a defensive. He's trying to see if he can counter Chicago. Chicago see the defensive, just trying to see if he can kite and root. And it's got himself the slows lead by Conan. He used to maximize the healing, but this last catching is so Chicago's at least able to, wants to play the consistent gameplay, wants to fight your mana Yamada. He wants to play you through a sustain, but seeing the defenses, he's like, okay, I gotta peel. Make sure he doesn't get too many bloodthirst, and then I come back in there, swapping the totems over to make sure he's got plenty of shielding from those things. And Conan taking hits here and there, picking up a little bit of health. The I was gonna say fell puppies because I've been seeing too many warlocks so far over the last few weeks in particular, but the alley puppies are going to be out and about, buffing up all of Chicago's damage. If you get another big Tempest while you have storm puppies up, that could be a lot. Just alley blasting to make sure he's harnessing the maximum damage. All those pets, stun, for Tempest, another lightning bolt, he's got a proper go, and that's going to be a one, I think, lava lash at the end to take him out. My goodness, this spec is getting buffed up again and again and again. That mount that's going to play in you also. I think Conan only plays the name, but that mount, yeah, it does look really, really good. What is that mount again? Isn't that like Balanchi? No, it's like a Cotiran mount, isn't it? It's like a Cotiran with a nice little barding or whatever. What is that mount, Conan? What is that thing specifically? Because it looks like almost like a Venthier horse, but not quite like a Balanchi or anything. But it looks like proper, looks royal. Chicago just knocked it back in the opener. He's gonna go for a root around the pillar. He's got himself the most amount of burst damage, and he's got to just be able to pin down Chicago for a second to get that burst. He's going in for big strikes, but you can see him weave in, get some damage, weave out to continue the pressure, weave in for a bit of burst, weave out. So that's what Survival Hunter is gonna do. Chicago got wall full burst available. Now trying to see if he can fight it. It's gonna be a wall to rotate some cooldowns, freezing shot at Chicago for a second with a turtle. So that's a lot of defensive sand by the Hunter. Does have a kill shot. Yet another root in Chicago. He does have Tempest. He needs the Maelstrom. Stun Totem next to an Elf. It is going to be short. Very, very short CD. Very, very short. Does get the two stuns back to back though. And is trying to see if he can just fight and burst available. Trying to see if he can pick up some damage. But the Shaman found the Maelstrom, found the lightning. Oh, that is a lot. That is a lot, man. My goodness. Is it your panda? Oh, you did say you're going to be doing something different. You were like, I don't want to do Auric, man. It's not as good in PvP. I want to do something different. Panda. You know, not the worst, because you do have the, I don't know if you got the food buff, because there's a food buff you can do in PvP, in arenas. It's a versatility buff. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe you can just like, I'm pretty sure there is food. There's PvP food that you should be able to consume. So it does give you more stats. Panda racial. is also basically another gouge, which is not the worst. It means you don't have to invest into gouge, you just use the racial, but it does give you more control. Plus the panda stun animation with the cheap shots is an uppercut. It looks absolutely good. Actually, before we get the Legion animation makeover, a lot of the panda animations for combat abilities were insanely good. Shadow strikes out of the panda, got him some bit of damage. Cloak and shadows to follow. Wall out for Chicago, just trying to survive this a little bit. Demonic with a evasion, so Chicago cannot really continue to response here like the last one, but it's very short. Alien Blast does poke right through him into a vanish. Got him some bit of damage, but Shadow strikes available. Can a shot to follow? Do you have enough damage right now? Because Chicago can't do anything. Look at those eviscerates, by the way. They look so good. Oh, big Tempest right after with a blind to follow. Trinket, Panda Rachel coming in clutch. There it is. You might still need to vanish. There goes the vanish. Shadow Strike immediately goes back in there. There is a totem out right now. Another totem trying to slow down Demoniac. He's trying to get out of there, but that Tempest hurts so much. Shadow Strike. Oh, Shadow Step on a Demoniac. But Chicago still runs off the edge either way, though. But those wolves are enough. Those Tempests hurt. Every one of them is just painful. Every single one of them. And they only make a Tempest better. Layson back in there. The fearless paladin. I swear to God, your mog is insane. I need to get all the different pieces from that, man. The shoulders and the chest piece and tabard all just look perfect. Perfect. Full Wake of Ashes, got him some wings, playing the Hammer Paladin, so he's going to be going for big damage. Try to go for a blind onto Chicago. So we are playing the big hammer builds for both of them. Chicago hammering people with the Tempest, which hurt a lot, and Layson able to hammer people down with literal hammers from the sky, which also do a significant bit of damage. And Layson seeing the Tempest, seeing his hell bar, he's like, you know what? I better back up behind the pillar. I better catch up a little bit. Shield of Vengeance was used. Stun onto Chicago. Does get knocked. Searing Glare should give opportunity to stay in there a little bit. Does see himself another hammer go. He got himself Wake of Ashes. Big hammer should be available. Does try to see if he can drop the hammer. It is doing a bit of damage to Chicago. Chicago with the next step is good. Do a ton of damage. Those alien blasts are hurting. The more ghosts you have, the harder everything is going to hit. And when the level of 5, when you can get past the wolves, I think it's going to hit even harder. Especially because you can RNG and just get a bunch of those wolves, man. You can just RNG and get like 4, 5, 6 within like 6 seconds of each other. Stun onto Layson. Bubble. Stun. Hold on. Layson. Layson. Heavy Rain. And your references here? Anybody remember Heavy Rain? Layson. It's Jason, but either way, it works out either way. Wait, wall out Chicago. Bubble out for Layson. He got Searing Glare, so he continued pressure for a little bit. But no, he has to back up out of there. He is trying to stay as aggressive as he can. At least he's got Spell Warden. If you live long enough, Spell Warden, you might be okay. Shield of it and soaking up a lot of the Alien Blast. But it doesn't matter. Chicago just had so much Maelstrom ready to go. Just Alien Blast into a Lightning Bolt, and that was it. My goodness. Look at that heal. Look at that damage. Like, is this a Rested Shaman? Or is this an Enhanced Shaman? I'm confused. That is so much damage. Tempest Shaman. Pop it off. All right, let's get another one going, boys. Yeah, GG's. Yeah, GG Chicago. Well done, well done.